Alrighty guys, what's going on everybody? Welcome back here to another update. What's up you guys? Happy Sunday evening, August 11th. Hope y'all are doing well. Good to see you guys again. Hope everyone's doing good. So we do got ourselves, I'm actually going to turn off this light I was actually working at my desk here. I had it on, but we got ourselves a pretty big update for you guys. We got some more info on the tropics. We did a video earlier, which I'm going to go ahead and say, dude, our video did amazing earlier. I just want to go ahead and say thank you guys for all your support. We had like a lot of views on that video. That's like my third most popular video. We had over almost 10,000 views on that video today, which is unbelievable. So thank you guys. I want to go ahead and say that right off the bat. Anyways, guys, let's see who we got here for today in the chat. We got ourselves Anna, we have Becky, we have Indiana, we have Misty, we got Roaster Jim, we have Mark. Mark was first here today. I wonder if Mark's still here. We got Roy, we got Mindover, we got, let's see here, Justin, and of course, let's see here. Did I already say Indiana? Misty? Well, you guys are here as well. What's up, everybody? And everybody else who's not chatting, but still here. Hope everyone's doing good. So, anyways, y'all, so yeah, we are going to be looking at the tropics. Let's first of all hop over here to the Hurricane Center here. Oh, that's not the Hurricane Center. That's the Hurricane Center. So here's the latest regarding the storm. Since our last update, it was a tropical, tropical wave. It was a disturbance, right? Now it's a potential tropical cyclone, meaning it's not a tropical cyclone yet, but it's about to be. So we do have a cone, as we are going to get ready to get into here in a moment. So we'll get into that here in a second. So obviously for, overall conditions is expected, or this thing's expected to turn into a tropical cyclone here at any time, It is like right there, basically. Central low is down to 1,009 millibars, so that's your central low pressure right there. Still kind of a high low pressure, nothing super crazy. Once again, it's not a tropical cyclone quite yet, but it's getting close. Maximum sustained winds of 30 miles an hour. So we're getting near tropical depression. It's close. It's getting pretty close. Movements west-northwest around 23 miles an hour. So it's pretty speedy. It's actually moving pretty quickly at 23 miles an hour. That's not very slow for a tropical system. What's up, Mantis? Hope you're doing good. What's up, Raka? Let's see here. Meow Mix. I love your name, by the way. And of course, everybody else. Once again, hope everyone's doing good. So let's go ahead and get on into the cone here. So this is the latest. This is the cone. This is our first cone we've gotten, guys. So as you can see at the end of the cone, we are expecting Cat 2, according to the Hurricane Center. I think it'll be bigger than that. We'll look at that here in a minute, and why I believe this. The models are kind of hinting something pretty big going on with the storm here. So anyway, so we are expecting this thing to turn into a depression here. Is tonight, actually, early tomorrow morning. We are expecting this thing to turn into a like I said, a tropical depression. By tonight, it will have sustained winds around 35 miles an hour. gusting to right around 45 as it continues moving to the west-northwest. It's going to continue moving to west-northwest over the next couple of days here overall. So, and then it's expected to turn into a tropical storm here actually tomorrow. By tomorrow afternoon, there's a good shot that this thing could be a tropical storm here. Sustained winds of 40 miles an hour, just low-end tropical storm by tomorrow afternoon with gusts up to 50. And then, of course, as we roll into the morning here of the 13th, it is going to get a slight kick in strength, up to 45 sustained with gusts up to 60. And then, of course, as we roll right into the afternoon here of the 13th, around 2 p.m. Eastern, we'll be right around mid-level tropical storm, kind of low mid-level tropical storm, 50 mile per hour sustained with gusts up to 65. And that's as soon as we hit the Lesser Antilles out there in the Leeward Islands. Now, we do have tropical storm watches that have been issued for some of those areas. Let's go ahead and see if we can pull those up here for you guys. But we do got some tropical storm watches. I don't know if this program, I don't think it shows on other areas. I think this program only shows tropical storm watches and stuff like that for U.S.-based areas. So here's what we're going to have to do. I'm going to have to bring you guys over here. We're going to have to pull it up on the Hurricane Center's page here overall. But yeah, we do got some tropical storm watches in effect. It's going to bring those over here for you guys. So you can see right there, those yellow areas there, those are tropical storm watches. So including the Leeward Islands, basically the middle and upper islands there is where that extends to. What are the chances of this hurricane being like Florence in 2018 end up making a landfall in North Carolina? Extremely unlikely. And the reason is because we're going to have a big dome of high pressure across eastern America. Plus with that subsiding high pressure in the central Atlantic rolling to the eastern Atlantic, which is going to kind of open doors for the storm to kind of squeeze right between. So this high pressure in eastern America is going to kind of act as a shield, keeping it away from the U.S. And due to that Atlantic high pushing eastward, typically it's in the central Atlantic, but it's moving to the east Atlantic. That's going to allow for lower pressure out in the west Atlantic, which is going to allow for the storm to kind of skip right on through and basically kind of open the doors. So that's kind of what we're seeing. So yeah, extremely unlikely. It's not expected to impact anywhere in the U.S. But yeah, so like I was mentioning, once again, those yellow areas, those are tropical storm watches. Tropical storm conditions is possible down in time. That'll be right around the Tuesday into the Wednesday commute overall. And you might notice how the cone, as we approach our way here for Wednesday around 2 p.m., that's whenever we transition from a tropical storm into a hurricane. It's going to be sometime around the afternoon on Wednesday. And then, of course, it'll continue to be a Cat, or go from Cat 1 to, Cat 2 right around the afternoon of Thursday. Continuing to be a Cat 2, according to Hurricane Center here. I think it'll be stronger, honestly. The way the models have been talking, like I said, we'll get into those in a minute. But yeah, 2 p.m. on Friday. And if you look at it, it's pointing right towards Bermuda. Now, obviously, there is still some time for this to change. It still could maybe veer a little bit to the east. It still very well could maybe veer between. It could still definitely go around Bermuda. It's still, like I said, it's still not engraved yet. But obviously, Bermuda's kind of in the path. The storm's kind of aimed right at Bermuda right now. It's heading towards that area, so it's going to take a sharp turn to the north here. So yeah, Bermuda, like I said, obviously, there's no reason to freak out right now, but I obviously want you guys to be, ready for the storm in case if it does happen. Just be ready to take action. Once we get in the cone, which will probably be at some point tomorrow, we'll obviously, want to start, maybe getting some things together. And as we start to kind of pinpoint more where it's going to end up, then maybe even start preparing for it. But as of right now, the only areas I really want you to be really watching, obviously, yeah, Bermuda needs to be watching this closely. But I really want you guys out there in the Lesser Antilles, up in the Leeward Islands there, to really be watching this. Like I said, we have those watches now in effect across those northern islands. So obviously, if you're out there, just prepare accordingly. Make sure you have all of your hurricane stuff together. If you can get some food and water, that'd be good. Some non-perishable foods. Of course, if you have, first aid kit, make sure it's in your safe spot. And just make sure it's there. I mean, it's going to be a tropical storm around tropical storm when it gets there. So, prepare for tropical storm conditions, and we'll see how that plays out. But anyways. So that's kind of what we're looking out there for. Once again, tropical storm watch is in effect, and it's going to be pointing towards Bermuda, so we'll definitely need to keep an eye out there for that. Anyways, whenever it comes to rainfall, now rain's going to be a big issue on the storm. Obviously not as big of an issue as Debbie was for the U.S., but it's going to be still an issue for you guys up in the northern Leeward Islands here. We are expecting around 4 to 6 inches of rainfall out in those islands, which equivalents to right around 100 to 150 millimeters of rain. You guys use millimeters, so it'll be right around 100 to 150 millimeters of rain out there, or for us in the U.S., it'll be 4 to 6 inches of rainfall out there. So a pretty good amount. And the lower confidence forecast, you can see right here, this is from the Hurricane Center, you can see the lower confidence forecast has like southern Puerto Rico maybe even seeing 6 to 8 inches, which would be 150 to 200 millimeters. So that's a good amount of rain. And of course, as it pulls to the north, maybe getting a little bit more rainier out there, but obviously if the rain falls in the ocean, that's no big deal at all. So that's, that's that. But there is going to be a little bit of a rain out of the storm here, so just prepare for a good amount. If you're in a flooding area, if you're a flood-prone area out there in the Lesser Antilles, up in the Leeward Islands, obviously, make sure that you're ready for it, because not only are we going to have some tropical storm impacts regarding like winds and stuff like that, but we're also probably going to have some concerns with the rainfall as well being an issue. So we'll keep an eye out there for that overall. Let's see here. Why is there a map of East and South Florida up? Oh, I just had my radar up here. This was earlier. Had some crazy storms roll through Florida today. It's actually pretty wild. Covered the whole entire Central Peninsula was covered in clouds earlier today. You all saw it probably in the beginning of the live stream. Overall, let's see. One model is showing trending west. Could happen. My next question. I did like the computer models more today. So yeah, we'll get into models here in a minute. Let's see. The LSC has closed off. It looks a lot better. Obviously, let's take a look at the satellite for you guys. We'll go ahead and show you all that. We haven't looked at that quite yet. So this is the storm. If you guys are just now, if you didn't see my video earlier today, this is probably looking a lot different than yesterday's live stream we did, which it is. Obviously, the convection is still pretty disorganized. Those thunderstorms, so those red and greenish blue color areas. These are the tall tops of these thunderstorms, in which you can see that they're not really, they're really not in all that organized right now. You can see the central low is like right in here. You can see that it's obviously spinning counterclockwise. She's looking a lot better. So we got a pretty good circulation going on in the storm here overall. So we got that for it. But like I said, all that convection, all those storms on it, we really need those to fire in the core of the storm there. So whenever it comes to it there, we need some more development. So it's not quite there, but it's getting there. That's why it's a potential tropical cyclone and not a tropical depression right now, because it's still not meeting those requirements for it to be a tropical depression. But like I said, yeah, we do got some convection on it, but we still need to get some more towards that center, and that's whenever we'll start to get some more of that development going on. But anyways, that's just a quick little look at it. Overall for you all. Here's probability of tropical storm force winds. Obviously Bermuda still in pretty low probs, as we still have a bit of unsure, pretty low confidence as of right now. Obviously the highest probability for that is going to be north of Puerto Rico, out in the middle of the water. So we'll keep an eye out there for those regions. Once again, Puerto Rico, as we're going to see here in a minute, I want you guys to be weather aware as well. Same thing for the Leeward Islands, and of course Bermuda needs to watch out for this as well. Watching from St. Kitts, the government has closed the departments for Tuesday. Seems island will get some direct impacts from the system. What to expect? So, aren't you in the northern, if I remember correctly, aren't you up in the Leeward Islands, up in the northern islands? Yeah, so you guys are under a tropical storm watch, basically saying watch out for possible tropical storm conditions here. And yeah, that will be right around Tuesday. Whenever that does hit. That'll be here for the 13th, which, yeah, today's Sunday, which is, yeah, so right around the 13th here. That's whenever we're going to be seeing that tropical storm kind of over you guys. At that point in time, it's going to be kind of a middle-level tropical storm with sustained winds around 50 miles an hour, with gusts getting up, around 65 or so, still in tropical storm force. So, prepare for a potential tropical storm, as more than likely you'll likely get one. So yeah, keep that in mind. And of course, same thing for like Puerto Rico. Obviously, there's no watches or anything like that for you guys quite yet, but there's some models we're getting ready to look at here that kind of shows maybe Puerto Rico being in a bit of a problem as the storm kind of gets near these areas. So we'll look at that. Actually, a majority of the hurricane models now actually are suggesting that it might have moved a little bit west here, which kind of would put Puerto Rico in a bit more danger. Let me bring that up for you. Oh, do we have a mission going on? Hold on a minute. Yeah, we have 2, 3, 4, 5 missions out. Wait, what? Hold on a minute, y'all. Apparently, there's a lot of Hurricane Hunter aircraft out there. There's like, let's see, we have unassigned mission AF-301. We have that one. We got this one. We got this mission. We got this mission. Got this mission. They're all en route too. What the heck? Oh, there's one in this. Are they going to investigate, or they are? I think they are. At least I think what they're doing is, I'm pretty sure they're like they're probably going to land their aircraft out there in the Caribbean. That way they're ready to go for whenever the storms get there. But that's, wow, dude. I was just looking because I was curious. I didn't expect there to be 5 missions going on right now. That's pretty wild. Anyways, but yeah, let's hop over to the weather. Whoa. Okay, let's hop over to the spaghetti models. They've actually became pretty organized. I ain't gonna lie to you. They look pretty good. The models here are in a pretty good amount of agreement. I'm trying to figure out the best way I can do this for y'all. Let me do this here. Maybe pull it up here. That might be a little bit better. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so you can kind of see how the majority of the models obviously have it going over the Leeward Islands. At this point in time, yes, that is expected. The Leeward Islands is going to experience a storm, going over you guys. And you can actually see here how the majority of the group of models here, I mean, literally right on the eastern side of Puerto Rico, or just barely off the coast here, could be a bit of an issue. And then you can see that little speck right there. That's Bermuda. Storms, really, like I said, a lot of those models are aiming right towards Bermuda. So like I said, please, if you're in Bermuda, still watch the storm. I mean, obviously there is still some time for it to shift, maybe more east, maybe more west. But like I said, I mean, you guys as of right now are kind of in the bullseye regarding the path of this storm here. And it seems like a lot of the main models, if you guys saw our video earlier today, we were looking at the earlier GFS and the European model and the CMC, and they were all spot on in the same exact area, showing the storm going right over Bermuda potentially. So we'll get into those models here in a minute as well. But yeah, that's the latest spaghetti forecast. You know, within the next 2 days, it'll be over there towards the Leeward Islands, towards Puerto Rico within the next 3 days. Next 4 days, it'll start to pull away from the Caribbean, and around 5 or 6 days from now, it'll be out there towards Bermuda potentially. So even if Bermuda doesn't suffer a direct impact, there's still likely going to be some surf conditions, some rip currents, and that could be a big issue. So regardless, Bermuda's impacts out of the storm seems quite likely. But, obviously determining what it's going to be like, it's still a little unknown as of right now, but we'll keep that, we'll keep y'all updated on that. But so yeah, that's the latest there. Intensity guidance. This is another thing I want to go ahead and show you guys. So let's hop on back here to. We're actually gonna hop to the main page here. So let's go ahead and minimize that right there, and we'll zoom in on this here a little bit. Yeah. So there's your intensity guidance here. You can see, and whenever it comes to the median, the middle part of the models, you can kind of see like right in here. It's kind of right where the middle. Actually, you know what? No, it's a little bit more higher than that. Yeah, the median's like right in here, actually, having this thing, getting into maybe Cat 1, Cat 2 realm. There's a couple models as we're going to see that might even have it going higher than that. We'll have to really watch out there for that. But that's the main hurricane model spread as of right now regarding intensity. Overall. And of course we got some more ensembles. Like here's another set. This is the GEFS ensembles, basically showing the exact same thing of the storm, just kind of going out to sea, with the median point being near Bermuda. Seems quite possible. And of course we even have another set here as well, which this is the GEPS ensembles here, kind of showing there you go, yeah, kind of showing the storm kind of going up there to the north overall. So that is that. I just want to go ahead and mention all that with you guys. And then, of course, yeah, let's go ahead and get on into the big stuff. We're gonna talk about the main models. We're going to get into all that mess right now. So, but once again, if you guys haven't already, consider subscribing. It'll be greatly appreciated. That way you guys can stay weather aware, and we can keep you up to date on these latest systems. Like I said, we're going to be here all throughout the crazy weather. Like I said, we're here. We cover hurricanes, tropical cyclones in general. We cover severe weather as well as winter weather during the winter time. So if you guys would be interested in that and being up to date, like I said, we'll be here for you guys. We'll be here to help y'all out. Let's see. But anyways, let's see. Do I think that New England will be impacted by the storm? Obviously, that's a little far down in time, Joseph. I'd say it's unlikely. that New England will be impacted. I think that the jet stream's going to get a hold of the storm and just kind of launch it up to the northeast, which I'll go ahead and show you that right now, actually. That's what we're going to start with. So you see the big jet stream, see right here, that's your jet stream, that's your tropical cyclone. And as the tropical cyclone goes up to the north here, that jet stream's going to kind of maybe grab a hold of it and kind of push it away from the northeast. You know, obviously it depends on the timing here. So if that hurricane can get on this part of the, you know, the jet stream, it'll launch it further away from like eastern Canada. But according to GFS, it gets kind of caught in a you know, a bit of a ridge here. Which would maybe bring it a little closer to land, but still not quite towards New England. So for that, it looks unlikely. But once again, I mean, that's pretty far out in time. But yeah, as of right now, it doesn't seem really quite possible or quite likely at all. So GFS, so the latest GFS actually took an interesting approach. It really doesn't have that storm really kicking off until after it passes Puerto Rico. So as we approach here it actually has a bit more to the south, as you might notice too, right there in the central Antilles. But if you look at the top right, there's your time. This is for the morning of the 13th here. This will be for Tuesday morning. Having a potential depression, maybe a tropical storm, as it approaches out there towards like Puerto Rico, maybe eastern Dominican Republic. Maybe as a tropical storm at that point, you know, and of course as we approach the 15th and the 16th, it pulls to the north, and at that point, that's whenever it's going to likely turn into a hurricane, and then of course continue to the north. Now, if you look really closely, I know it's very hard to tell. You see that little speck right there? My crosshair is. Let me try moving a little bit forward. There you go. That little speck right there. It's so hard to see, dude. That's Bermuda, and you can see the GFS still having, wow, dude, still having Bermuda right in the path of that storm. Now, obviously, like I said, what happens after that, it's pretty far down in time. Of course, you know, anything can still change, but, I mean, yeah. But, yeah, you see that little speck there? That's Bermuda, and the GFS has it going right over. Maybe it's like a, let's see, pressure down in the 960s. That would be right around Cat 2, maybe Cat 3 strength, according to GFS there. So we already looked at wind shear. Yeah, wind shear doesn't seem to be much of an issue with the storm. You know, and at least until the later cycle. You know, once it gets up there towards the latitude of the Mid-Atlantic, not for the Mid-Atlantic, but you know, the same height as the Mid-Atlantic is. Now, when it comes to moisture, we're indicated high humidity values in the bluish green color here. So obviously, we need a lot of moisture for these storms to, you know, get all that thunderstorm activity and for those storms to convect. Obviously, if we don't have any moisture, that storm's not going to do anything. It's going to weaken. But you know, like I said, that's indicated in the bluish green. It's showing a lot of moisture. It looks like the storm's not going to have too much issues with you know, with the moisture. It seems like it's going to have a pretty good gathering of moisture here. But it could be an issue. Maybe as we approach, you know, once again, same latitude as the Mid-Atlantic, you know, as the jet stream kind of grabs a hold of the storm, there could be some dry air infiltration going on. You can kind of see some of that dry air trying to nudge up into that southeastern quadrant. That might allow for some weakening, you know, on top of the wind shear as well. Could be a bit of an issue. But yeah, at least for the first couple of days of development, it doesn't look like that it's going to be having, or it doesn't look like that it's going to have much of a problem with moisture. I mean, that's good for the storm's sake, of course, not really good for us here. But anyway, so let's move on to the Euro. European model here. This is the latest 18 Zulu. This is the half run. This one doesn't go all the way out, but according to this model here, this is as far as it goes. We'll drop to the previous one before that. But yeah, once again, it doesn't really have the storm developing until after it pulls away from like Puerto Rico. Latest Euro actually has it a bit more to the west, maybe even impacting southeastern Bahamas. Could be a potential out there. So we'll need to look out for that. Upper dynamics here regarding wind shear. According to the Euro, it doesn't look like wind shear is going to be much of an issue. All this is just venting from the storm itself. They vent counterclockwise. Sorry, they vent clockwise and up in the northern hemisphere. So on the lower part of the storm towards the surface, they rotate counterclockwise, and up in the atmosphere, they rotate clockwise to vent. And so basically that's just your venting from the storm. That's not a part of wind shear. Now this, on the other hand, that's your jet stream. That would be a part of wind shear. So, but anyways, we're going to hop down to the 12 Zulu. This is the previous model before that. Same model, but, you know, different run. The previous run kind of has it maybe, you know, getting caught up in the jet stream, causing it to weaken maybe a little bit there. In terms of moisture and all that stuff. Actually, first of all, let's take a look at the future radar there. According to this, has it going right near Bermuda. This is actually slightly east of Bermuda. But due to that westerly push on the latest run, I wouldn't be surprised if that pushed right near back towards Bermuda again, potentially. But yeah, right around 970 millibar range, either Cat 1, Cat 2 realm, according to ECMWF. And of course, with the moisture, like we were talking about, the Euro has it maybe struggling with a little bit more dry air. You can see there on the western side, maybe a bit more drier air being a problem for the storm overall as it approaches into the central Caribbean here. And then as it approaches near Bermuda, maybe poking up some more of that dry air into the storm could be a bit of a problem and causing the storm to kind of weaken, before turning into a subtropical low. Post-tropical low. So that is, that's what Euro has to suggest. Moving on to CMC model. Let's see here. We got our 12 Zulu. This is our latest run here we've had. CMC hasn't changed from our video. This is the same model run. Has it going right over, literally right over Bermuda there. Central low down in the mid 970 millibar range here. This will be right around the 17th, sometime. So just once again, Bermuda, I want you guys to watch out for the storm. It's a little far-fetched, of course, but, it seems like it's becoming more and more possible that you guys could get impacted. If you're not impacted directly, you're going to have some, indirect impacts, regarding, like, maybe even some swelling. It just depends on how close it gets, but, maybe even some, rip currents. Even if the storm's pretty far away, it can still cause some, rip currents. As, these storms really shake up the water. They really make the water rough. So the whole western Atlantic's going to be pretty choppy from this storm here. It's amazing how much power these things have. So that's CMC. And then, of course, Icon, which everyone loves Icon for some reason. This is the latest Icon. It's not the full run here. It goes up to 120 hours. But Icon has it, picking up that strength after it pushes through Puerto Rico. So from what we learned out of those models, it kind of seems like the majority of them now having the storm, starting to pick up heat once it kind of passes north of Puerto Rico. That's good for, the Antilles and Puerto Rico, but it could be an issue for Bermuda. And it seems like there's been a slight westerly push, which might even include portions out there, maybe towards like Dominican Republic and the Bahamas may be needing to watch out for the storm as well, as there could be some impacts regarding it. So that's the latest. But let's go ahead and hop on into the hurricane models, y'all. We're going to hop to the HWRF here. This is the 18 Zulu run. First fresh new run since the storm has turned into a potential tropical cyclone. We don't have the Navy model, Garrett, unfortunately. Yeah, this page doesn't have the Navy model, unfortunately. Here's HWRF, that central low getting down into the lower 1,000, maybe upper 990 millibar range. So that'll be right around tropical storm force as it approaches those Leeward Islands there. Now, according to the HWRF, it might even strengthen to a hurricane as it approaches just near Puerto Rico. So that is a possibility. And as we continue to roll our way to the north here, this thing really picks up some heat. And I want you guys to notice something here. Look at the wind field, okay? See the wind field? It's relatively compact, nothing too significant. But look what happens to the wind field when we go farther down in time. See how much more bigger the wind field gets? So it becomes a bigger storm in general. HWRF has this thing getting down to, that central low right in the 940 millibar range. That is like probably Cat 3, maybe Cat 4 strength, according to HWRF. Obviously that's one of the main hurricane models. I've noticed this model can sometimes kind of pull up a worst case scenario, but it's certainly concerning, and we'll need to continue watching it. Let's actually take a look at the infrared here. This is a little interesting. You can see as we approach, it's just a bunch of disorganized thunderstorms, but as we approach the Antilles, it becomes a little better organized here. We're starting to get some more of that convection towards the core as we approach these areas, and that's whenever that tropical storm is going to likely develop here. Then we roll to the west here. You can see out there's Puerto Rico, and as we approach near Puerto Rico, that's whenever it turns potentially into hurricane strength, and before pulling to the north and really starting to develop that little eye there. You can kind of see a little pinhole eye that temporarily pops up according to HWRF, and that's where the model ends, just before getting to Bermuda. So we'll have to watch out for that. Next model we got, this is the HMON model. We're going to take a look at this little guy here. HMON, this is the latest run, 18 Zulu. As we approach towards the Antilles, honestly shows it a bit weaker than the HWRF was showing. You know, this one didn't show it as strong, which would be good for you guys, of course. But it starts to pick up its strength once it pulls north of Puerto Rico. And, you know, once it does that, it'll, you know, quickly pick up some strength. And according to the HMON, you can see right there, there's Bermuda. HMON has this thing going far east of Bermuda, which would be good. Even if this was the, you know, even if this was the, you know, the case, you know, say this was the case, there would still likely be maybe some minor swelling on the northern side to begin with. You know, regarding that ocean water, maybe some weak surges, nothing too crazy, but there would definitely be some rip currents. That would be a really big issue at that point. But yeah, so that's HMON. You know, once again, we get up there just slightly east of Bermuda, according to HMON. So that would be good. Obviously, if we can get it further away from Bermuda, the better. But you know, like I said, that's what this model shows. But yeah, it really doesn't show that intensity kicking up until after it passes Puerto Rico. Let's see here. Roadster says, "Holy moly!" Yeah, she's a beast, and like I said, I think she has a good chance of becoming something pretty interesting. She could definitely be a pretty strong storm, you know, especially, you know, once we go north of Puerto Rico there, she becomes really well defined. And as we start heading up towards the way of Bermuda, that's when it becomes a little concerning. Let's see. Weather said Hurricane 100 will help put much better data in the models. Absolutely. Yep, with the dropson data. Like I said, we got a lot of missions going on right now. Matter of fact, like I said, we have 5 missions apparently. I don't think all of them are going in the storm. But I do think that there's a handful of them that are going out towards that way. I think some of those missions, if I ain't mistaken, is stalking aircraft, is you know, positioning aircraft towards the Eastern Caribbean. That way it's easier to access the storm. Because, you know, obviously it's smarter, you know, say rather than taking off from either Gulfport or taking off from Lakeland, where I'm at, you know, either or, and then going towards the storm, it'd be much better if they just send their aircraft down to the Eastern Caribbean. That way they can fuel up right here, and then they can just have a quicker access point to the storm. I think that's probably why there's so many missions out right now. I think they might even be trying to investigate it a little bit. I think they're... Let's actually look at those real quickly. Let's pull those up. There might be some missions going in the storm. See, aircraft recon. We got some en route. Where are these guys? It's kind of hard to tell where they're at on this map here. We got some that are north of Puerto Rico. Okay, yeah, this one landed here. It looks like it landed in Puerto Rico. You can see that right there. It looks like the mission ended in Puerto Rico there. Although Dropson has it going past the Antilles, which is interesting. Let's see here. This one has it going pretty far south in the Caribbean. Yeah, it's a little interesting. Here, let me pull up this. This is going to be a little easier for me to look at the Hurricane Hunter aircraft. I love this site here. This will make things a lot easier for us. Ignore those ads. We don't need those here. Yeah, but let me pull that up. So we zoom in, missions. Well, this one shows that there's no missions available right now. So those are probably... we're a little crooked here. Yeah, those are probably maybe positional missions overall. Anyways, what's up, Scott? Hope you're doing good. What's up, MP? Hope you're doing good, my friend. What's up, Bun? Let's see here. Nico says, isn't it better if it gets strong faster, so it turns sooner? The strength doesn't really have much to do with where it goes. Particularly, that's, yeah, mostly it's the steering currents that kind of move it around, you know, big or small, strong or weak. It's up to the steering currents for the most part. No, so that really wouldn't be good, because that would actually cause, you know, more problems for the Antilles, and maybe even Puerto Rico there. Let's see here. Should I not let the guard down for... So weather, yeah, this thing's not going to hit North Carolina. It's just simply not. The conditions are not going to be favorable for it. Once again, you know, what this storm's going to end up doing here, you know, once again, typically we do have a, you know, a big dome of high pressure in the central Atlantic, but this is going to be squeezed far to the east, you know, pretty far out to the East Atlantic, which is going to create lower pressure in the western Atlantic, as well as higher pressure is going to build into the East U.S., kind of acting as a dome protecting us. So this is going to kind of act as a bit of a gate. So we have high pressure, way over here. Have high pressure here. It's going to kind of narrow where it goes, and it's just going to go right up in between those two systems, which, at that point would be a concern. While, yes, it's not expected to hit anywhere in the U.S., it's going to put other areas of danger, maybe like Bermuda, as well as, Puerto Rico and the Antilles could be a bit of an issue. So, but yeah, like I said, North Carolina, yeah, we're not going to get it out there. Let's see here. But yeah, but anyways, so that's that. Once again, here's the latest Hurricane Center outlook here. We have this thing turning to Cat 2 potentially by the 15th here, right around the afternoon. Before turning into 110 sustain as we approach here for the afternoon here of the 16th. That is just what, 5 mile an hour short. I think that's just 5 mile an hour short from becoming a Cat 3. Let's see. That is right on the line. Let me pull up the Safford-Simpson scale just to make sure. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's 115 to 130s Cat 3. No, 111. So that's 1 mile an hour more, and it'll be a Cat. So that is literally upper level Cat 2. Oh shoot! Look at that. Yeah. So Cat 3. You can see right there, Cat 3 is 111 to 130, and the Hurricane Center forecast has it sustained at 110. Oh, you can't see that. There you go. Sustained at 110. That's 1 mile an hour short. Hurricane Center has it from a Cat 3, so it's already almost there from the first cone. That's wild, dude. Yeah, so I really do think this thing will likely take the cake as a major hurricane. I think there's a really good shot of it. And by the way, if you don't know the term major hurricane, classification of a major hurricane is Category 3 or greater, in which, it looks like we're going to get, I think we're going to get in Cat 3 realm. That seems quite likely. But anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on there. I just wanted to go ahead and bring that up for you guys. Also, once again, we're going to hop on back over here to you folks. Once again, if you're just now joining, first of all, welcome. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. It'd be greatly appreciated, my friends. So here's something I want to go ahead and show you. Right now, it's not a tropical storm, of course. It's a potential tropical cyclone, meaning it's getting there. It's not quite one yet, but you can see out there towards the Leeward Islands out there, those yellow areas there. Those are tropical storm watches. Those are in effect here across the northern Antilles or the Leeward Islands, and that will be in effect. Like I said, tropical storm watches, meaning that tropical storm conditions is possible. So we'll need to watch out there for that. Tropical storm conditions are possible. So, and once again, that'll be there for right around Tuesday. By the time the storm gets there, if needed, maybe tomorrow evening, we might have some of those upgraded to warnings. We'll see. But yeah, so it really does look like you guys are going to have that storm go right over you. And in terms of rainfall for you guys out there, in imperial inches, we are expecting 4 to 6 inches of rain, which goes out to in millimeters to right around 100 to 150. So that's a pretty good amount of rain out there. It's nothing excessive, but it's it could be a problem for those low-lying areas, of course. And of course, as we approach our way towards Puerto Rico, lower confidence, of course. But yeah, we could actually maybe pull up a little higher towards Puerto Rico, maybe around 6 to 8 inches, which would be 150 to 200 millimeters. So that would be a decent more amount of rainfall out there overall. And of course, as it tracks to the north, it'll start to really dump some rain out there in the water, but that won't be an issue, of course. Just dumping that water, dumping all that rain into the ocean, that's not going to really do too much. Let's see. I was watching a typhoon over Japan. Let's see here. Oh, I got you. Yeah, I saw there was a tropical storm somewhere out there. I don't really pay attention to those typhoons in the west too much. Yeah, I mostly just pay attention to Eastern Pacific and the Atlantic. But yeah, so, once again, a good amount of rain is possible out there. That's something we'll have to watch. And once again, probability of tropical storm force winds, you guys can see the probability. It's going to be increasing as we approach. So as we're at right now, it seems pretty low, 30 to 40% for the Leeward Islands. That's going to increase. Same thing for Bermuda as well. That probability is likely going to increase as we start to get a little closer and as the storm actually turns into a tropical depression. Right now, it's still not a depression. It's right now it's still technically an invest, but it's a potential tropical cyclone. I'm saying it's potentially going to be a tropical cyclone, which it will. It will. Guaranteed. It will become a tropical system, which is getting there. You know, like I said, once again, we'll take a look at those live views there, or satellite views, I should say. So yeah, taking a look at the sat view, you know, the circulation's pretty well defined, actually. It looks a lot better. Let me see if I can maybe make this a little smaller for you guys. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so you can see that circulation's pretty well defined. I mean, you can obviously tell that she's counterclockwise rotating at the surface. Look at the white clouds. You can really see that they're kind of pulling to the north and kind of bending around here. So, you know, it's definitely rotating counterclockwise. You can obviously see that. But yeah, those thunderstorms, you can see all those red tops, those black tops there. Those are your thunderstorms. And if we pause this on the last frame here, the center low is right around in here. This is right where the central low is located, roughly. And you can see that a lot of the convection is to your northwest, a little bit to the northeast, and we got some to the south, but there's still a lot of gaps that need to be filled. You know, that convection and that thunderstorm activity is still pretty disorganized, while the circulation's pretty well developed. So we're going to need a lot more convection to start occurring there towards the core, towards the center of that storm before it, you know, kind of turns into a depression. But it's there, you know, it's definitely getting there for sure. I mean, it's, yeah, by the time we wake up in the morning, I wouldn't be surprised if it looks pretty nasty. You know, the rate at which this thing is, you know, strengthening it's pretty interesting, say the least. I mean, yeah, if you look closely, see those thunderstorms firing over here, which is really, really cool. And something, a little bit of a fun fact you guys probably didn't know. Some of you probably didn't know this. In the northern hemisphere, so if you look at the surface, you see how the clouds are moving to the southwest. So we have that, you know, kind of clockwise circulation, right? So you see right here that those clouds are moving to the southwest, but you also notice that there's some clouds moving up north. So what's happening is in the upper atmosphere, it's spinning clockwise, venting, and in the lower atmosphere, it's spinning counterclockwise. So it's like a big corkscrew, basically. You know, it's spinning clockwise in the upper atmosphere and counterclockwise in the lower atmosphere. It's really amazing how these storms work. But, you know, we get those thunderstorms, and as those tall vertical columns of clouds start to, you know, go up in the atmosphere, they get blown over, as you can see. So these are the thunderstorms developing. So they start off in the lower atmosphere, moving to the west, and then you can see once they approach those upper level winds, how they start blowing their tops to the northwest, which I think is pretty cool. You know, it's that convection, you know, starting out in the lower atmosphere and then getting blown up by the venting process. Anyways, I just thought that was pretty neat. Wanted to share that with you guys. But yeah, so that's what's going on there. I mean, once again, she's circulating pretty good. But you know, by tomorrow, yeah, it's probably going to be a depression. You know, once again, even possibly a tropical storm by then. Did we just get a new update from the Hurricane Center? We sure did, y'all. The cone shifted what? Did it shift east? It looks like the cone shifted east a bit. Yeah, look at that. Cone actually moved a bit to the east. So that central point, that's where that's the last data. This is the new cone. Still has it pointed near Bermuda. Interesting. Yeah, it goes right over the Leeward Islands there. Let's see. Hurricane Genesis is amazing. Oh, it is, dude. It's such a cool phenomenon. You know, I absolutely love it. Tropics have always been my favorite. Yeah, they've always been my favorite to track for sure. But yeah, I'm curious to see what the new Hurricane Center. Let's look at that. Let's see what we got going on here. Any new updates from the NHC? 11 p.m. update. It's still potential tropical cyclone 5. Disturbance continues to move rapidly west-northwestward. It's moving pretty quick, 30 miles an hour. Sustained, sorry. I thought that was movement. No, it's moving at 23. That's still pretty good speed for a tropical cyclone. Yeah, it's moving west-northwest at 23. Y'all can see that right there. West-northwest at 23. 1,009 millibars or HPA, and you know, max sustained at 30 miles an hour there. Is that our new cone? That is the 8 p.m. update. That is not our new cone. Okay. Yeah, it looks like that new cone pushed it a bit more to the east. I'm curious to see the strength on that new one. I'm really curious to see what they're going to... So, Yeah, you guys stay tuned for a minute. We're getting ready to get a new cone update here. It's like I said, this is a mile an hour short from a Cat 3 here. I would not be surprised if that last one becomes a Cat 3. You know, with latest models coming through. I mean, yeah, there's going to be, like, not much limitation. I mean, there shouldn't be any problems, you know, with the wind shear, at least to begin with. You know, once the storm kind of pulls up into these regions here, that's whenever it could have a problem battling wind shear, as, you know, the jet stream's going to be pretty strong, you know, probably, you know, increasing the forward speed of that storm and kind of ripping it apart a bit. And also more drier air coming off the mid-Atlantic could be an issue for it, but... you know, at least for its time in the Caribbean and, you know, slightly north, yeah, there's not going to be too much limitations there. It's going to be relatively relatively stable, so that's going to be pretty interesting. Anyways, so yeah, once again, that's the latest there. We should get a new update here in a few moments. Hopefully we'll get that new update on here first. Can I maybe turn it off and back on? Do the old switcheroo here. Maybe that'll work. Nope, didn't seem to work there. Here, let's try the hurricane page again. Yeah, like I said, y'all, we literally just got a new cone here. Still 8 p.m. All right, we'll look at that here in a minute. Let's go ahead and hop over to the models again for you guys. We'll go ahead and show you guys the latest spaghetti plots and all that fun stuff. So let's go ahead and do that real quick, and then we'll get on back into that. But yeah, here's the latest spaghetti models. Y'all can see, you know, once again, the latest spaghetti kind of shows the storm obviously continually moving to the west-northwest over the next couple of days. So a day from now, it'll be just shy of the Antilles. You know, 2 days from now, it'll be, you know, in the Leeward Islands coming up on Puerto Rico. 3 days from now, it'll be kind of north of Puerto Rico. 4 days from now, it'll be just north of Puerto Rico. And, of course, like 5 days from now, it'll be slightly just south of Bermuda. So... that's kind of the timing regarding the storm there. But yeah, you can see. I mean, look how well agreement though the models are. I mean, look at those spaghetti plots. I mean, there's not a big gap. I mean, obviously we have one outcast here going a little bit more to the east. I wouldn't call it really an outcast because it's still reasonable, but you know, it's pretty minimal gap. That is good. That means that we have a lot of agreement between the models. And you see how thin they are over there towards the Antilles. Now, this is a little bit of an outcast here. It goes a lot further south than all the other models. But yeah, towards the leeward, the main, you know, once again, the main group of models goes right through those areas. It remains pretty consistent. Yeah, there's Bermuda right there. It's still kind of aimed right at Bermuda. That could be a bit of a problem, unfortunately. But there is still time to change. What's up, Ma? Hope you're good. But yeah, and of course we have the intensity guidance here. Yeah, this is the latest with the latest latest intensity guidance. Middle point has all those, you know, easily maybe getting up into Cat 1, Cat 2 realm here. Could be a bit of a problem. Some models near Cat 3, yeah, definitely seems quite possible. I honestly do think we will reach at least Cat 3 out of the storm. You know, take my word for it now. I think that's going to happen with the storm overall. I think there's a really good shot for it. You know, once I think I can't even talk. That's going to happen whenever the storm goes north of Puerto Rico. Okay, that's whenever it's going to be at its strongest. So it's going to be at its strongest between Puerto Rico and Bermuda. That's where the storm is going to be at its strongest peak. Above me, you can see the NHC polygon there, or the cone. Right in here is where it's going to be the strongest. There overall. Let's see, is there an update yet? Doesn't appear so. Okay, we'll just dive into more of those models then. But yeah, anyways, that's what I wanted to show you there. But let's go ahead and dive on into the models. Once again, guys, if you're new to the channel, consider leaving a like, hitting that subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated, my friends. Once again, thank y'all for joining. Thank you for hanging out with us here. So let's go ahead and hop on over here. So this is the GFS. This is the 18 Zulu, the brand, like I said, the most. The newest run we got here, the GFS. And one thing I want to go ahead and show you guys before we really progress in this model, once again, pay attention to this high pressure ridge out in the Atlantic, out there in the Atlantic. You see how there's this really big dome of high pressure in the Atlantic, also a bit of a pressure dome out there in the Midwestern U.S. So that's going to be playing a very important role. It's going to be a very, very important role here. And as we work our way down in time, you can see that high pressure is going to roll its way to the east here overall. So that high pressure is going to be positioned off to the east, and that's going to create a little bit lower pressure out there in the west. Not to mention, with all that going on, we'll actually highlight the lower pressure in red here. So we have the lower pressure there, and of course we do have the high pressure out there towards the mid-Atlantic and the northeast. So we're going to have this kind of dome, kind of protecting the U.S. East Coast from a landfall. That high pressure dome is going to be playing a very, very important role, as well as the progression of that central Atlantic high moving to the eastern Atlantic. That is going to allow the storm to kind of have an open door to go out to sea. So that's kind of where we're standing here. That is kind of where we're standing. So that's good news for the U.S., of course, but it's not really the best news for Bermuda. Could definitely be a bit of an issue there, but we'll have to watch it. But yeah, the GFS though, let's zoom into the GFS. This is a little concerning here. So according to GFS here, this thing has it going right over Bermuda. So there's Bermuda right there. You can see that the storm just goes right over Bermuda. That would be literally the eye. Look at that. The core, the eye is right. Dude, Bermuda's in the eye there. Look at that. So that's a possibility. We'll have to see. Let's see here. So Drew, this isn't going to hit us. No. This one's going to stay out to sea. Here's the latest models. You see it's, so there's Florida. This is going to remain far away from us. The U.S. is going to be protected by some high pressure building into the eastern U.S., which that will, kind of help keep it away from us for the most part. So that'll definitely be pretty good. But once again, though, GFS here has Bermuda literally in the eye there. Let's take a look at those low-level wind field there. Yeah, look at that. Oh, my goodness. So I'm going to grab a sounding across that area. Surface winds of 70 knots. That's like Cat 1 force, it looks like. But the pressure of 965, though, that's not Cat 1. I can't tell you that one. Right there. Where's Bermuda? Barely. So, yeah, Bermuda's right there. So, regardless, GFS has it going right over. Unfortunately, Euro does too. Let's see your ECMWF here. The 12 Zulu run we had. Yeah, has it going right over. Or sorry, it might have been this. Wait a minute, that's weird. Yeah, I thought Euro had it going right over Bermuda, but if I do it on this, it's different. That's weird. Anyways, but Euro has it going, according to this run here, has it going it's slightly just east of Bermuda. So there's Bermuda there. And then, of course, goes up to the north and then just kind of goes away. Let's see here. Bermuda has very good construction codes for tropical impacts. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure those buildings are definitely built with hurricanes in mind because they're not super rare, actually. Bermuda does get some tropical cyclones fairly often. I feel like at least I would say on average at least a tropical storm or two, every other year or so. I remember, I think last year, if I'm not mistaken, a storm hit Bermuda. I know the year before, I'm pretty sure did, the year of 22. Although I have a hard time remembering all that stuff. But yeah, no, I mean, it's not super common. Or sorry, not super uncommon, I should say. They happen. But yeah, I'm sure they're definitely built with hurricanes in mind. I know areas in Florida is as well. Just really the tropics in general. A lot of these houses and a lot of these buildings are built to really withstand hurricanes. They're made of thicker glass and stronger materials like concrete and all that stuff. Let's see here. No problem, Ma. You're welcome. Welcome. All right, let's try that new cone here. Is this? Nope, that's not the new cone. Let's see if we got a new update on that here. Hopefully, we'll get a new update. Oh, there we go. That is weird, dude. No, it has a Cat 2 actually. 110. No, it kept the strength the same actually. It was just one shy, man. One shy. Yeah, but you can see there, right as we approach 8 p.m. Friday, that's going to have sustained winds of 110, which 111 to 130 is Cat 3. So it's just 1 mile an hour short from a Category 3 hurricane at that point. And once again, those yellow areas out there in the Leeward Islands, those are tropical storm watches, where tropical storm conditions are possible. So we'll definitely need to look out there for those regions. They didn't really change. Oh, we got surges. Look at that. Got some surge maps coming through. St. Thomas, St. John. 1 to 3 foot of storm surge expected. That's new. That's a new graphic. Yeah, advisory 2 just came out here. So yeah, you can see that 1 to 3 foot of storm surge by St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix. Is that how you say that? Could be wrong. But yeah, 1 to 3 foot of storm surge out there is possible. Rainfall totals, once again, it's still the same. Still the same. I don't think they updated this, though. But yes, 4 to 6 inches out there towards the Leeward Islands of rainfall. That equates to about 100 to 150 millimeters of rain, which, yeah, it's a pretty good amount of rain. Once again, lower confidence towards Puerto Rico. Could see maybe around 6 to 8, 150 to 200 millimeters possible. So, yeah, we'll definitely need to look out there for that. Anyways, guys, if y'all have any questions, feel free to let me know. Like I said, we're here for you. I want to make sure you guys are weather aware, of course. We want you guys to be prepared. Yeah, here's Icon model. Like I said, everybody loves Icon. So there's Bermuda. And Icon, the last extended run, has it going right by... let's see here. Has it going literally right by Bermuda, like skimming the edge of it. That's just wild. Yeah, but look at that. Icon shows the pressure down in the lower 940s. St. Croix, gotcha. But yeah, lower 940s, that could be a bit of an issue. That would be like, yeah, that would be near Cat 4 if that happened, according to Icon. CMC model, once again, a lot significantly weaker than that run. This one shows 974. 974 before going off to the north there. So obviously there's quite a range of, quite a variety here. There is quite a variety here. Let's look at the EPS here. We're going to pull up the upper air height anomalies. We're going to pull to the tropical North Atlantic. So yeah, you can see out there that higher pressure ridge, like we were talking about. So right now, the high pressure is positioned across the central Atlantic, right? So we have this high pressure that's in place, which is indicated in the red there. And you can see how that high pressure gets pushed up against the east. You see that? So the high pressure goes over here. So remember, right now, the high pressure is in the central Atlantic, and it's just going to get kind of pushed to the east here, which is going to open the doors for this guy, which that's where the hurricane's at, which is going to allow the storm to go up to the north. No, we are only watching the one storm as of right now. There's no other storm happening. It's literally just the one storm right now. There's currently no other tropical waves or anything like that coming off, thankfully. Let me bring up our page here. Yeah, so GFS once again. So there's that storm. There's another tropical wave in the latest GFS, but it doesn't really take traction according to the model. But yeah, so yeah, nothing else going on right now other than that. This is really the only storm we need to look out for. But yeah, so once again, everybody, if y'all have any final questions, I think we're probably going to roll off here soon. We're heading up to our hour mark here. We typically do an hour-long live stream in the evenings. If y'all did enjoy it, leave a like, though. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated. Once again, I appreciate y'all's support and everything like that. If you guys want to see something cool, check out our merch page. We got it down in the description. Also pinned in the comments, y'all. We got some really cool stuff on here. We got drawstring bags. We got swimming trunks. We got joggers. We got leggings. We got tie-dye shirts. We got stickers, mugs. Actually, 2 different types of mugs. We got, I like the black glossy mug. This thing's pretty cool. I might actually get me one of these for my coffee. But yeah, pretty cool stuff, man. So if y'all want to check that out, there is a link in the description. Also, it's pinned in the comments, right where it says the Venmo and stuff like that. So it's right there. We got some cool hats and everything like that. This shirt here is pretty neat. On the front, it has a mini logo, and on the back, it has like the big logo. Of course, we got the mugs here too. Pretty cool, like these traveling mugs, pretty neat. Once again, drawstring bags. We got patches for like vests and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Got some stickers too. We even have a flag. I saw that was available, so we added that as well. And of course, we got our cotton tote bag as well. So yeah, go ahead and check those out, y'all. I'm also going to throw that link down in the description, or sorry, down in the chat as well. That way you guys can see it. It's also, Nightbot literally just posted it a few minutes ago, so you guys can check on that. But if y'all can't see it, I will go ahead and post that for you. But once again, everybody, if you have any final questions on the tropics... Oops, sorry about that. Bit of streamception. But yeah, like I said, if y'all have any questions, you know, on that, I'm going to go ahead and post this a few times. Just a handful of times. But yeah, if you have any final questions before I roll off for tonight, feel free to let me know right now. That way we can go over your question if you have any. If not, tomorrow I'm going to do what I did today more than likely. I'm going to make another video for you guys. Either that or do a morning live stream, and then of course do a live stream in the evening. We're going to do that every day. At least 2 updates a day is what I'm shooting for. So kind of a morning, afternoon update and an evening update is what we're going to do for you guys. But once again, everybody, if you could, please consider leaving a like, hitting that subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated. Once again, thank you for joining, everybody. Y'all take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day. All right, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for now. Thanks for joining, guys. We'll catch y'all later on. See you later, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one. See you later, guys. Take care.